Noel Deyzel, one of the fitness industry's favorite influencers, has been going through a lot of health problems recently, and a lot of people have been saying that this is the effects of steroids, including Greg Doucette in his latest video claiming that these health effects are a result of substance abuse. But is that really true? Well, I beg to differ. Let's talk about it. What's up guys, welcome to today's episode. So Noel Deyzel, actually one of my also favorite influencers in the fitness industry, always providing solid advice. Some might even say a father to many young fitness influencers, giving life advice, day-to-day advice, positive motivation, has been going through a lot of health complications recently. If you guys aren't following what's been going on, he had a hernia a couple of years ago, went through surgery, and unfortunately the hernia did not recover properly. I guess it's a tear in his abdominal wall. Happens to a lot of bodybuilders and a lot of people as well who aren't really taking anything.
Come on now, dog.
After a couple of months went by, he stopped working out. He made a claim that, this is why he's been doing videos with a shirt on or not appearing without a shirt, because he's feeling maybe a little bit insecure on how his body has not been in top shape. He's gone through surgery again since, and again for the second time, the surgery has failed. It's been almost 2 years. He's done his third surgery right now, and there are a few YouTubers and a couple of people on Instagram that have been making videos about it. Now, one of my boys' favorite YouTubers, Greg Doucette, has made a video about Noel's health condition, but what I didn't like or did not agree with was that most of the talk about Noel's health decline is a result of steroid use.
When you do in fact choose to use performance enhancing drugs, it comes at a cost. No one wishes this on anyone.
I disagree with that. I don't think this has anything to do with steroid use at all. Now, granted, Noel is a big guy. Greg Doucette mentions his weight a couple of times, but the guy is over 6 foot. So even if he was a natural bodybuilder, he would still be that big. But let's talk about the injury itself. It's a hernia. How many people do you know that are not bodybuilders that have had hernias? My dad had a hernia. My dad's 74 years old. He's been an athlete all his life. Never used steroids, never even took supplements. Maybe that's why he got a hernia. But anyways, never took steroids and still suffered a hernia. This is something that is very common in most people. This is like having your appendix have issues and then blaming it on steroids. I don't really like the fact how a lot of internet influencers, particularly ones who've done steroids a lot in the past, always contribute any adverse health effects or any issues with bodybuilders immediately to steroid use. There are factors outside of steroids that do affect our health. I don't think a hernia is one of the issues that is a contribution from steroid use. Now, Greg Doucette himself mentioned that he had a hernia when he was 4 years old. I doubt that he was taking testosterone back then. What? He does mention that he did have another hernia 10 years ago, but this was due to probably his history in powerlifting. Now, mind you, a hernia is a tear in the abdominal wall that can come from several different factors. One of them including lifting really heavy weights and squeezing as hard as you can your abdominal walls. This can happen very commonly in powerlifters, especially when you see in today's world and fitness industry, a lot of the new Gen Z people are into powerlifting. We see them at the gym with their cameras, barefoot or with socks, and making a lot of noise in the deadlift corner. A lot of them are not on gear, and a lot of them do suffer injuries like hernias in their abdominal wall, hernias in their lower back and their spine, and even problems with their knees and whatnot, and even bicep tears.
Get some help.
Now, all these are not a result of steroids, because a lot of them are not using steroids, but it is a result of bodybuilding. Now, if we use the same logic, then I guess we could say, well, don't do bodybuilding anymore. Don't do heavy weights anymore because it can result in injuries like that, right? I mean, this is the argument that we're having. Let's not do anything because anything that we do has certain risks, and those risks we want to avoid at all costs.
We don't do that here.
That's not really the way to live. I mean, it's like saying, hey, don't go cycling outside because you can have an accident, which did happen actually with Greg Doucette. He did have an accident. He did flip with his bike several times and had serious injuries. That doesn't mean he's not going to go biking again, but most of the injuries that have to do with bodybuilding are because of bodybuilding. It's not because of steroid use. I'm not here to defend steroid use. I'm here to defend Noel Deyzel's specific case and injury and people related relating it to steroid use or steroid abuse. I don't even think that even Noel had a time in his life where he abused steroids. He was a pretty big guy, but consider the fact that he's very big boned and he does have good genetics and doesn't really compete and mostly maintains a physique for his personal preference and how he looks on Instagram, which is what most of us do after we retire from competing or don't compete at all. So is it really a result of steroid use? I doubt, but it is a result of bodybuilding. So we can't really use that argument and say, well, don't bodybuild anymore because you could get hernias, you could hurt your knees, you could get bicep tear, you can get a tendon tear, you can have all sorts of lower back problems. This is what comes with bodybuilding. In fact, this is what comes with most sports. You will get injured. No one talks about the risks in other sports. Like when you do MotoGP or Isle of Man in MotoGP, this is a race that guarantees at least 2 dead drivers every single year. No one talks about that. How many deaths do we see from bodybuilding because of steroid use? It's not a lot when you actually consider how many people are on juice. Again, I'm not defending the use of steroids at all, but I'm just saying that we can't always jump the gun when there is a bodybuilder who obviously did use steroids before. The first sign of injury of any kind, oh, that's the steroids.
I got you, homie.
See guys, this is what happens when you do steroids. Nah, man, this is that happens when you live life. Happens. We have to stop blaming one particular thing. It's part of life. Most old people actually pass away from injuries related to walking, slipping down the stairs, slipping down icy roads. We're not gonna tell them to just stay at home and not leave the house. This is kind of the same thing. You can't really stop doing things you love because of the risks involved. Everything involves a risk. Bodybuilding does have risks. Steroid use does have risks, but not all the injuries that we see in bodybuilders or health issues that we see in bodybuilders is always directly related to steroid use, especially in Noel Deyzel's case. Greg, however, does mention a few positive things in regards to Noel, saying that how he is uncomfortable taking his shirt off. I agree with what Greg said, is that no one really pays attention. Most of the time when you're out in public and you're a little insecure about something on you, let's say your shirt's a little bit stained in a certain area that you can see and you're kind of worried that people are going to judge you. Trust me, no one's really looking at your shirt, and even if we see the stain, we're not really going to judge much and we don't really care. Most people aren't really concerned with what other people are doing because these very same people are also thinking the same thing. So you're thinking of the guy over there looking at your shirt thinking, oh, look at that stain on his shirt, but that guy is probably thinking about something about himself. Maybe he didn't clip his nails that day and he's thinking, oh shit, maybe everyone's looking at my nails today. I feel really insecure. I don't really feel like going out. I just want to go home. It's the same thing with everyone. Everyone is mostly thinking about themselves when they're out. No one is really looking at someone else.
Get some help.
Particularly, I think in the fitness industry, I think we are actually the least judgmental people when it comes to that, because most of us do get into fitness because of insecurities. I think the gym culture is a pretty safe space for most people. I don't think anyone should be ashamed or embarrassed to take his shirt off or to film any content without their shirt. I think this is the safest space. If anything, we are a very encouraging crowd, especially with anyone that we love very much or support very much on the internet, such as Noel Deyzel. So that's it for today's video. Just wanted to come clear any of the confusion regarding Noel Deyzel's health. It is not because of steroid use. Hernias are something that are very common, more common in people who do lift weight, but not related to any steroid use. So let's stop blaming the monster in the closet. It's not always him. And that's it for today's episode. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you on the next episode.